Hey, Ansley here. Hey, I'm here today with my friend, Sarah Badahman with
Hi.
HIPAAtrek. Hey, Sarah,
Hi, how are you, Ansel?
I'm good. Hey, thanks for jumping on this video chat and talking today. Um,
My
Sarah is,
pleasure.
well, it's great to have you on. Sarah is the CEO and founder of a leading SaaS application called HIPAAtrek. And I say trek, I mean like in Star Trek. And
Yes.
I happen to be a Star Trek fan, by the way. I'm
Me
just
too.
I'm just throwing that out. Um, but hey, a couple things I want to us talk about today. We in our conversations, one of the things that you brought up to me was talking about the OCR and in 2020 and finding people. Nothing like having COVID, but adding the OCR on top of that and finding people for HIPAA violations. Um, can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, so the OSAR does not care that we're in the middle of a global pandemic. They're throwing things at us left and right. So we've had a record number of corrective action plans in 2020. So we've had around 20 corrective action plans, all with punitive, meaning financial settlements involved.
Right.
So it's been pretty impressive how serious the OCR is taking HIPAA compliance. So these corrective action plans vary from their right to access initiative, which is an initiative that they are doing to ensure that your patients have timely access to all of their records, to cybersecurity breaches. So they're amping up how quickly they are responding and investigating cybersecurity incidents and then putting folks onto corrective action plan. So they're getting serious with their enforcement activity. So that means it's time for us to really start paying attention and taking our own compliance extremely seriously.
And then to add on top of that, now they've come out with new HIPAA regulations.
I know.
Merry
It's
Christmas.
crazy, right? They do not care that you're in the middle of a pandemic, and they released these just last week. So just a few days ago, it's the middle of December, so next week is Christmas. People are trying to get ready for the holidays, and the OCR drops a new proposal, and they said, "Okay, y'all, we'll take public comment until February 8th." And right now, hospitals are so swamped in dealing with COVID, and
Right.
they're trying their best to deal with that pandemic, that they're not going to be paying as close of attention to these new proposed changes as they should be. But I'm going to tell folks that they really, really need to pay attention. This is a sweeping change to HIPAA compliance. Some of the major things that people need to pay attention to is they are cutting the amount of time that you are given to respond to a request for information or request for access request from 30 days to 15 days. So they're cutting it in half. So if you were having trouble meeting a 30-day requirement to give patients their patient records, imagine how you're going to struggle with a 15-day requirement. So that's one thing. Another big change that they are doing is they are with the right to access, is they are going to create a new right that allows patients the right during one of their appointments to take out their cell phones, video record their charts, like takes pictures. And the one thing that the OCR put in these proposed changes is that the patient can do it, like can schedule an appointment in the office to do it. And the biggest problem, so I was talking to my friend Dina, who's a healthcare attorney, and she was like, who's going to pay for that visit? Is it going to be Medicaid, Medicare, private insurance, or is it going to be the patient? Because if it's at a healthcare visit, who's actually paying for that visit? And who's actually overseeing that? So I think that it's very, very important for healthcare providers, hospitals, and clinics to get with whatever associations they are with. If they're in rural health, get with the NRHA or NARC. If they are not, get with the AMA and start having your voice heard so that these organizations can make comments on your behalf. Or if you have time, you're a large health system, go and make the comments like have your voice heard to the OCR, because right now they're not paying. They think that what they've done is reasonable.
Hmm.
And if you don't have your voice heard, these will be the new regulations.
Wow. Well, that's so important that this is and again at this time, once we get pushed back past the end of the year, I feel like more that people can or clinics can pay or hospitals can pay more attention. But I tell you, this pandemic has got everyone scrambling. So, hey, now you host like it's called Armchair. What's it called?
Armchair HIPAA, that's the podcast that we have.
Yeah,
So
Armchair. Yeah.
Armchair HIPAA, new episodes every week. And then once a month, we host a HIPAA huddle. And these are all free educational resources. So Armchair HIPAA is a podcast where we interview other compliance officers and they tell their stories, they or tips, hints, whatever. And it's really good. Then we also host a monthly HIPAA huddle, which is a networking education event. Where we focus on one or two topics, and again they're hearing from their colleagues,
Right.
and so they get all the help that they need on a topic area, for free, because we just are putting them all together. Sometimes we bring in industry experts, so like this month we have two healthcare attorneys coming in and sharing their thoughts on the right to access initiative, and then we're hosting a special HIPAA huddle on the new proposed changes where we have another healthcare attorney coming in and giving her perspective. So
how can they find out, clue into the HIPAA huddle?
you can visit me on LinkedIn. There's a link there, or you can go to my website, HIPAAtrek.com. That's HIPAA with one P and two A's. And you can click on the link to register there.
Great. Well, listen, these more later. I want to, this is such valuable information. Thank you for taking a moment to talk about this. And hey, guys, if you've got any question about this, message me directly, and I'll put you in touch with Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much for taking time today. Hey, more, and we'll do more later. Okay.
Absolutely. This is great. Thank you, Ansel.
Thanks, Sarah.